we go. We're live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the Your Lifestyle Business community. I am here with the lovely Caroline Jones, who it looks like she's about to go on safari.
Yeah, there's a few.
Caroline.
Good. There's a few elephants down the corridor. I've got to sort of stave off.
Brilliant. So anyway, it takes a few minutes normally for a few people to join us. So we'll just carry on regardless, because people will watch the replay as it comes on, and they don't want us waffling on for 10 minutes while we're waiting for people to turn up. I hate when people do that, don't you?
Susan from Brighton.
It's like mid-sentence, isn't it? Hi, John. How are you? Yeah. Anyway, so we're going to have a chat about Zazzle, because Caroline, let's just go back a little bit though, Caroline, because we've known each other now a few years, and pre-print on demand, because there was a pre-print on demand for all those people who don't remember those days. You and your sister had a website called Playful Pixel Designs. Was that correct?
No.
And
no, it was Useful Graphic Designs.
Useful Graphic Designs. Sorry, Useful Graphic Designs. That's right. And you guys used to do loads of videos on how to create graphics, and because you are an artist yourself, correct? So just tell us a little bit about those days and how you got started in online marketing and all that kind of stuff.
Sorry. I mean, I will tell you this later, but, you know, it makes me laugh when you say things like you are an artist. I might be a piss artist, but, you know, when I was in school, I came bottom in art, but at least I was consistent. I consistently, every year, came bottom in art.
Well, they do say consistency is key, Caroline.
Well, exactly. I kind of became a bit of a badge of honour. Well, I'm sure it didn't, because I was probably really cheesed off with our art teacher, who's called Mrs. Fish. We called her Madame Poisson because it was funnier. Anyway, so, you know, I don't consider myself to be an artist. I'm a doodler and play arounder with pens and inks and what have you. But anyway, just kind of wanted to put that right there. I know there's this thing about, well, you are an artist and you don't like to admit you are, but anyway. So going back to useful graphic design tutorials, yes, we made videos. We made lots of videos, actually, showing people how to use graphic software so that they could make their own. And we produced and created, I don't know how we did it, 3 products, which, you know, which was great, actually. And we started that in 2011 when we sort of came across yourself. And I was looking the other day in preparation for this, see, I have done some prep. 2015, we finished that because it meant actually we would have to employ somebody, and we're not really interested in doing that to get to the next stage. So we wound that down. Although, you know, YouTube actually still keep paying us a little commission every month. So that's where that came from. Yeah.
So this is key to, obviously, the people that watch my videos. Hopefully the people that watch my videos are people that are either starting or looking to start or are growing, you know, their own sort of lifestyle businesses from their front rooms or wherever they happen to be in the world. And you and Davina did it for a while, right? I mean, you had a blog and you had your YouTube channel, and and the courses that you created, they were little video courses, were they, that you sold on your site?
Absolutely, yeah. How to create graphics for Pinterest, Halloween graphics. We even started a magazine. That was great fun, actually, on Apple's platform. That was incredibly tricky. God knows why we did it, but it was great fun, in fact. So yeah, we spent a lot of time on that, and in all sorts of different ways. It has actually helped both of us. Even now, we're not actually doing stuff like that. But for anybody who's honestly worried about video, well, you know, when they watch this, they'll show that any fool can really get in front of a camera. But well, no, it's true.
It is true.
the first video that we did was a complete and utter mess. It was hilarious, and what we did was we cut it up into bloopers, and we actually put it on our feature. Can you believe it? Our featured video. It was like to give you hope. So, you know, but people really related to that, because here is this two, you know, old birds, old boilers, actually, as somebody once called us, just getting in front of a camera and doing, just trying things out and having a go. Yeah. So, you know.
And you didn't need, this is something else I tried to tell people with lifestyle businesses as well, is they don't need massive audiences to get to a point where they're bringing in, you know, a fairly nice little monthly recurring income. You know, if you want to go out and be a multi-millionaire, well, that's another story altogether. But if you're literally looking to create just a nice sort of recurring monthly income to fund your lifestyle and just to, you know, be able to have a bit of freedom in your life, then you don't need to be Kim Kardashian, do you? You don't need like millions and millions of followers. You can do it just by creating useful information and building a small audience. So that was great. That's great. Yep. Yeah. So how have you moved into Zazzle? Talk to us about Zazzle. Well, let's start with what actually is Zazzle.
Okay, well, as you've mentioned previously, Zazzle is a print-on-demand platform. But actually, what does that mean? Well, in days gone by, if you wanted to print something, to make it sort of a decent price to have to pay, you'd have to print a garage full. But with so fantastic technology these days, you can actually print one item, one mug with Joe Barnes's fab on, and that's it. Or Joe Barnes, well, whatever you wanted to say on your mug, actually.
Yeah, you can keep that. Don't take that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So you can design something, and you can put it on a product on the Zazzle site, and it can be sold. One of them can be sold for a reasonable price. That's really what print on demand is. It's literally what it says it is.
It's great, though, isn't it? It's a great model. I mean, I can't believe over the last few years, just slightly digressing, but Keris and I, my daughter Keris and I are setting her up a little business to have a go at over the summer. And she wants to do beauty and skincare. And never in a million years did I think there would be a print on demand beauty and skincare company. And they exist. So all she has to do is come up with the design, and they've got, you know, creams, and they've got lip balms, and they've got palettes that you can make up of your, and they sell them obviously, you know, one at a time as you sell them to your customers. And it's just phenomenal, I think, print on demand.
It is. Actually, you asked me how did I get involved, well, it's maybe relevant to actually talk about this now. To link in with the previously what we talked about. God, how professional is this, Joe? It's amazing, isn't it? Back in 2011, I came across Zazzle. I don't really know how I came across it, but what I then decided to do was to use graphics that we had created on videos to demonstrate how the graphics could be used. And I did a lot of mugs at that particular time, some business cards and what have you. And it, you know, they look really professional. So it was more appealing to people to sort of have a go and see what they could create. So that's really when I came across them. But, you know, I didn't do anything with them apart from create a little picture, screenshot it, and then put it into a video.
Yeah. But now you've got, I'm just going to put it up on the screen next to us here. So here is your Zazzle account. Yeah, this is your own for Payful Pixel. This is your actual homepage, is it, on Zazzle?
That's you can have as many shops as you want, actually. And that's my Playful Pixel Designs shop.
Okay.
Oh, a store. Sorry, store. Yeah, not shop, store. Yeah, and all you actually do is create a design, upload it onto the site, onto a product that you actually think is relevant, and that's it. But it's a little bit like Amazon in the sense that you could create a fantastic design, but if it isn't found, then, you know, it's rather beside the point. So important things are things like organizing your store so it's appealing. How does somebody come to the store and immediately can see, well, you know, there's bath accessories and what have you. How can it be found in the marketplace using the correct descriptive titles, tags, etc. And that's kind of the side that quite a lot of people just don't want to do, and I can totally understand that. Because it's kind of boring and all the rest of it. But, you know, if you want people to find what you're creating, then that's really what you have to do.
So these are all your products? These are all products that you've designed?
No, these are all designs that I've created. The product,
right,
yeah. Because Zazzle has 500 plus products on there, ranging from boxer shorts to pens, from wedding stationery to shower curtains. These are all my designs. What's interesting is, well, you may or may not think this, that the type of art that I really quite like is bold colours, bold shapes. But, you know, if you want to sell things, you've got to go for what people are looking for and the trends. And I've been the least trendiest person all my life, you know, but I do want to test this out. So there are quite a few things on there and you think, well, that doesn't look like your normal sort of artwork. You'd be right, it isn't. But I'm testing out based on, you know, what is popular at the occasion.
Okay.
I mean, the other way to actually approach it is to have a following, for example, like yourself, have a following outside of Zazzle or a brand, and then actually start a shop and bring your followers with you. People like me, for example, who, oh, do you know what? That Joe Barnes quote is fantastic. You've set up your store and you actually come from outside of Zazzle onto the store. And then your style and trends don't matter so much. Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah, totally. Yeah. That's similar with lots of different, you know, businesses as well.
Of course it is.
Yeah. I always think that with becoming an author as well, I seem to have got into a bit of a trend lately, I guess, because I'm looking to write a book. And I was talking to my other half the other day, and I was saying that I think that if you're an amazing writer, if you're an absolute top drawer writer, then you can build an audience with your book. If you're more of a mediocre writer, then you need to build the audience first and then sell them your book. But excuse me. But okay, so I've got lots of questions, only because I've always been intrigued by Zazzle and I haven't done anything with it, but I'm very intrigued by it. So, excuse me a minute, I've got a frog in my throat. Oh, excuse me.
I'll hunt that down with my hat.
Okay, so talking from like a total newbie here, somebody who doesn't understand Zazzle. So let me just get these steps in my head. So I can go. And I'm not an artist, all right? So let's say, I mean, I know that these platforms seem to suit artists probably better because print on demand, I imagine, would be low profit margin. So if you have to go and get designs created, it's an extra cost. Would that,
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So if you're already a natural artist, then you've kind of just got an extra advantage there on a platform like print on demand, just from that low profit margin. But anyway, so I'm not an artist. So the steps I would take would be, because looking at your page, you've got lots of different products. And so my question is if I'm going to go and sign up for a Zazzle account, am I going on there with a brand in mind? Do I go on there and say, right, I'm definitely going to do, let's say for me in Thailand, I'm going to do ocean sunsets, you know, that's my brand. So am I going to go on with a brand in mind and do ocean sunsets across a whole range of different products? Or am I going on there to say specialize in socks or shoes, but have lots of different designs, or a bit of both? What's sort of the best strategy?
You could do both. You can actually do both. And because it's free to sign up. It's unbelievable. And you could have a store which specializes in socks. So Joe's sock store could be one store and you do loads of different designs on there. Ocean Sunsets in Phuket could be another store. Or you could do what I've done, because I've been faffing around trying to decide on my niche, because to be honest, I'm still playing around discovering art. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I've got one store because, you know, it takes time to kind of make sure that the store is running well with all the titles and tags and what have you. I've got one store, but I got several collections in the store. So a collection, I think, can be up to 300 products. So a collection could be mugs with loads of different designs on.
Okay.
Or I like doing clocks, for example. I'm going to do a store with clocks with every different type of design. So it depends on where you're at, but there's lots of flexibility. I mean, if you go to, if you scroll up, you can see collections. I think on my homepage, I've got the main tabs to help people. And then I've got collection, or you can even click on collections on the top there. That's it.
Yeah.
And you'll see what I mean. So the collections are like mini shops within the one store, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I like about this is that as somebody who's obviously sold on Amazon for a few years now, what I like about this is using it as a bit of a testing ground, really, to see the types of products that are going to work really well before you start to sort of dive into a niche in any really sort of deep way, you know? So, yeah, I do like that.
Can you see what I mean by the collection?
Yeah.
And what happens? I mean, it's a good selling tool because, for example, I'm on Instagram and, keep that there for a moment. Just keep it still for a moment. Ooh.
Okay.
And I say, oh, okay, there's a special offer on clocks, this 2-3 days, whatever. So I actually take a screenshot or do something else with that clock. I'm pointing. You can't see me pointing, can you?
So I'm looking at this. Hold on, I'm coming back to you.
There you go. It's all right. It's all right. And so you put a picture of your clock on Instagram, and the person clicks through, and then underneath is it's just like on Amazon, more of these types of designs you would like. So actually, if they like the sort of pale green and pink design, they click on the clock. Underneath, there's a whole stream of other products with that design on, if they particularly like that. So it's a good marketing tool, actually.
Yeah.
And again, it's one of these things that quite a lot of people who go on to Zazzle and other print on demand, they kind of don't like doing the hard work. I know I don't either, to be honest. But it's those sorts of things that can help get more views and ultimately more sales if that's what you're interested in.
And so where is the hard work with Zazzle? Is it in creating the products and the collections, or is it in promoting the products and collections?
It depends on where you're coming from. For somebody who's playing around with their art and just discovering that, it's different to other print-on-demand sites in the sense that the USP is the personalization.
Okay.
The other sites don't have any in some instances. For example, what I mean by that is Joe's Fabulous Cake Club, or well, you know, you can see here the 50th invitation. There's a lot of personalization on that. So actually thinking about creating the design is one thing, but for me, it's the promoting of it. It's not going down a coal mine and digging ditches or anything hard like that. It's a free platform. We should just kind of roll with it, I suppose. But I suppose if you're arty persuasion, the creating the designs is the nice bit. And the following through with the promotion is, well, it's the boring bit. Yeah.
So it's completely free to sign up then. So you just literally go on and create an account, and you can go on and you can make as many products as you want, all completely for free. They don't take any money until you start to make sales. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Wow.
And that's why, you see, like Amazon, you're actually, as a potential seller, you're taking advantage of the fact that they're doing really all the hard work, not just the pretend hard work, i.e. they're taking the money, they're doing the customer service, they've got the traffic, because there is a marketplace, obviously, where people come on. They deal with any complaints. All the fulfillment is done by somebody else. That was one of the attractive things to me when I first came across it. All we've got to do really is look at the trends, look at the designs. Oh, by the way, you don't even need Photoshop or anything like that, because there is an adequate designer actually in the platform.
Okay. So, all right. So as a non-designer then, so I could go on, I could sign up for Zazzle, I could get myself a completely free account. I could go in and I could say, right, I am going to start a store, and I'm going to do let's say I'm going to do mugs, right? Because I'm very reluctant, actually. I had a go with some print on demand last year. I made a few $100, not much more. It was just an experiment pre-Christmas, but I've actually kind of decided that I'm really reluctant to sell like T-shirts and stuff, because clothing has got the potential for such a high rate of return, because if it doesn't fit, or something happens in the wash or something like that, you've got all these potential issues. So moving forward with my store, I'm thinking more along the lines of sort of journals and mugs and things like that sort of a lower rate of return. So let's say that I start with a mug store. Let's say I want to do quotes, because I love quotes. So I can go and set up a free account, and then I can go into something like canva.com. If I don't want to pay for a major designer, I can go and use something like canva.com, and I can put loads of quotes on Canva. I download those normally as .png files from Canva. And then in the back end of Zazzle, they have like a design screen, do they? That I can then upload those PNGs and kind of place it so that I know how that's going to look on the mug. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then I just tag it and title it and put it in a collection and add it to my store and add a price to it. Now, how likely am I to get any traffic from the Zazzle marketplace when I first start out? Is that about how many products you've got, or what are some of the things that you can do to try and encourage general traffic that's coming to Zazzle looking at products?
Look at what's trending. What I mean by that are designs, colors. Make sure your titles and tags are spot on. It's one of the biggest challenges I have, because I'm actually selling on Zazzle.com, which is the American site, and I'm selling on there because the traffic is far greater than the .co.uk.
Okay.
Having said that, almost all of my designs are available on the UK site anyway, and 16 other countries. But you have to get into the mindset of, I don't know, Tiffany blue. What the heck is Tiffany blue? Well, Tiffany blue is turquoise, but actually, sorry about this, quite a lot of Americans, well, probably than anybody else, can't spell turquoise. So they actually call it Tiffany blue or aqua. Now,
right, okay.
Do you know what I mean? That's a trending thing, which you kind of just have to know.
Well, all Americans have just left the call.
No.
I'm only joking. I can't spell turquoise. Fear not. Well, don't worry.
That's what I mean. Well, I only said American because it's on the American site, but it's true.
Yeah, exactly.
Anybody.
Yeah.
Oh, God, how embarrassing. Oops.
No, it's fine. It's funny. It's good. Yeah.
So titles and tags, those are really, really important. It's and the collection, knowing about the collections, I have no intention of actually paying to advertise, and there are really successful people on Zazzle who haven't advertised at all.
Okay.
So it's possible, but you can also, this depends on where your audience is coming from. For example, for you could have a website which actually channels through to the Zazzle from the website. Okay, it's different to Shopify, where you're having to fulfill, so you'll get more profit, but at least you don't have to deal with all the stuff that you actually talked about earlier, i.e. returns, because Zazzle does all of that, but your profit is less. So, in a mix of, this is what we want to do on a website, that could be a good fit.
So you could because that's attractive to me, actually, rather than just trying to send people to the Zazzle marketplace where it could look a bit busy and confusing. To keep it really in keeping with my brand and everything, I could have a section on my website. So Zazzle has the capability, does it, like an app or a plugin or something where you can take the products and push them into your website so you can design it how you want? That's possible, is it?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's good. That would be more.
And in fact, you get more commission. Well, the royalty. Sorry, let's talk about the correct terms.
Yeah.
It's a royalty payment, also known as a commission, but commission is a highly emotive word. But it's a royalty payment, and you can set that yourself. You know, from 5% to 99%. Although, of course, if you put 99%, you probably wouldn't get any sales because you're not pricing yourself out of the market. Okay.
Oh, is that how you price it? So they will tell you that a mug costs, I don't know, say $8, and you turn around and say, well, I want to make a profit margin I want to make $3 on top of that. So therefore the royalty I've got to put on top of $8 to make $3 is this. Is that how it works?
That's right. But you've got to balance that against, what else is happening in the market. I mean, I charge 10% across the board because I'm lazy. I can't be bothered to change each royalty, and you can do each one individually, or you can do a blanket. Right. Actually, for more pricey items like phone cases, I've sold quite a few of those, and they're quite pricey.
Right.
You could charge a little bit more, but that's where the sort of business acumen comes in, if you like.
Yeah.
I mean, I've forgotten my train of thought now. What we were talking about.
Are people actually going to Zazzle.com to shop? People actually going there? Is it like an Amazon store? People are actually going to Zazzle.com to see what's in the marketplace and to actually shop? Is that what's happening? Or primarily are people making sales by advertising or by promoting their products off of Zazzle and just directing people back to their Zazzle store?
I don't know is the answer. It's a privately owned company. That's a frustration for me. So we don't have any details like that. But I suspect that most people will go to Zazzle and do it that way. But there will be lots of other people who will come from outside of Zazzle through another means, if you like.
Okay.
Go on.
Sorry, go on.
No, the reason I was saying before was if you actively promote your products and bring people outside Zazzle onto this platform, you will get more royalty. No, that is commission, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
No, the question I want to ask is because, so for instance, I'm just having a quick look at Zazzle.com now as we speak. I wonder if I can share that screen.
How exciting.
I'm just going to stop that, and I'm going to share the Zazzle.com part of the screen. It's a shame I can't. Here we go. So I'm on the actual Zazzle.com site now. There we go. That should just show up. And what I'm noticing on the front, so this is the home page. What I'm noticing here is it says gift cards, invitations and stationery, celebrate the 4th of July, home, office, sports and games, clothing, COVID-19 resources and gifts. So I'm guessing that when you create your products, I don't know if these change at all, but when you create your products, you want to try and make sure that your products are coming underneath. So like, for instance, the 4th of July is coming up. It's the 19th of June as we speak. So you'd be thinking as a creator, okay, I want to create some really cool 4th of July products because the 4th of July is coming up and I want to see if I can get into. So you'd maybe come in here and and they've even got subcategories as well, decorations, can coolers, for instance. So would you go and, I see. So here's where the trending products and designs are. So you'd want to.
Yeah, that's how you can use. You see, you asked about advertising. Well, Zazzle does a huge amount of advertising. They spend a lot of time and effort on SEO on their site. So why would you go and do that yourself when they actually give you lots of big clues on the trending products, as you say? They actually send out promotional emails. I think it's one every 3 or 4 days. And on there's all sorts of clues. For example, maybe trending sayings, quotes, or trending colors, or trending products even, or trending designs. So if you're really smart, then you can actually take a look at that and think, oh, I'm going to do one of those. Now, whether or not that gets onto the front page of Zazzle will depend on how really badly everybody else is doing, how long they've been on, how many products they sold, what the algorithm is doing, whether or not it's sunny today, or, all of those things that go into the melting pot. But to give yourself a chance, why not take advantage of some of the clues, if you like, that Zazzle are giving you?
Yeah, absolutely. How interesting. Okay. All right. I'm starting to get my head a little bit around how it works. Awesome. Okay. And somebody's asked, do you drive traffic from Pinterest? Do you use Pinterest as well? Is that a good platform to drive traffic to your products from? I would think it would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I actually do, because Google, Pinterest is like it's a search engine like Google. So again, keywords are important there, and so that links in all very nicely to the keyword. You're beginning to understand how really important title tags, keywords are.
Yeah.
But it's also a visual platform as well, and it's free. So yeah, I use Pinterest. Instagram, I play around with, I wonder if people will like this type of thing, but I haven't done anything serious with it. But Pinterest is a good place to start to actually do promotion.
And so you're making sales on this, Caroline? Yeah.
Well, actually,
go on.
I had my best. This is unbelievable, really. I had my best month in May. Now, if you think about quite a lot of the products are nice to have, if you like. So during the pandemic, you would think that people would tighten their belt. Well, I have. But, you would think that sort of nice to have things would be on the back burner for now. But surprisingly, I've had the best month. And it's things like business cards.
There you are. No, I lost you for a sec, Caroline. Just say that again. You've had business cards. You were selling business cards.
Yeah, I've sold a lot of business cards, yes. Well, there could be a reason for that. I've actually chosen business supplies, stationery supplies, as my kind of focus. You do need to have a focus, otherwise you're kind of all over the place. How do I know that? Because I've done that.
Yeah. Okay, so you would advise that when you come onto Zazzle, it would be a good idea to have a bit of a focus as to what you really want to specialize in. Yeah,
definitely, because you'd be like being in a candy shop. Yeah, and will be splattered all over the place. The thing is, it's like anything that you have taught, Joe. It doesn't mean to say that you're going to be hidebound by that particular niche forever and a day until you fall off your perch. It doesn't. It just means to start off with, so you don't get overwhelmed, you do have a focus. And you can test things out with that,
Yeah. No, that makes sense to me. And also, not only do I think that it's helpful on a platform, very similar with Amazon as well. You could go in there and create, if you like, a general store and sell lots of stuff, but then all of a sudden you've got lots of SKUs and all the rest of it, and the person coming doesn't really know who you are and what you're doing. Even more important on Shopify, that at least with Amazon it is a bit of an all out there platform, but on Shopify even more important. But also it gets confusing for you as the seller. You've just got too much going on, and you can quickly get overwhelmed. And
which is why I have one shop at the moment. I probably will set up a separate shop in the future of Caroline's little whimsical, weird, colourful, sort of lots of spots designs, which I like and some people like, but the general masses are like, oh, okay, yeah, well,
yeah.
but that's once I've got something else going, really, that's all.
Yeah.
I mean, let's talk about some of the downsides, because shock horror, there are,
Yeah.
Because of all the kind of the training that I've had previously, it scares me a little bit to actually just use this as a main source of income, as some of very successful people have, although they've now set up their own website. But even so, they're feeding in from Zazzle.
Yeah.
So you don't own it. You know, they can change the rules at a whim, although so far, you know, Zazzle have been okay. That was it, was it? Yeah, that was probably it, really.
That's the main one. And I would imagine the competition. If it's a free platform to sign up to, I imagine that, again, much like Amazon these days, it's really tough to stand out. You know, you've got to really start to be creative and think outside of the box to figure out how you can make your product stand out amongst the thousands of others that are on there.
Exactly. But, you know, I started it because it was a fun, well, a few people were saying, oh, those are nice. Why don't you try and sell them? You know, that people always say that when they think you just stick it up somewhere and the masses will come. Yeah. It's kind of all the bit behind that you need to do to get that happening. But I thought, well, okay, yeah, maybe a little showcase. And this is one of the things that really annoys me about me. I can't just do something for the sake of doing it. I have to go, oh, that's a business opportunity. I could do, you know, I mean, I recognize that in you as well.
It's a real pain in the arse, though, because you actually have to sit down sometimes and you have to say to yourself, this does not have to be a business. This can literally just be a hobby or something you enjoy doing. You don't have to turn it into a business.
I know. I sort of, oh, for God's sake. And Davina says, well, you know, just do it when you want. I'm like, I can't do that. I'm going to have a goal, you know. I'm going to have to do 10. And then you think what started out as a nice little, oh my God, actually, perhaps I'm not really that bad at drawing shapes and colours. And you're sort of developing a new skill and what have you. And then all of a sudden it becomes ooh, I've got to do 10 or 20, but, you know.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'm learning.
Somebody's asked, do people sell skincare on Zazzle? I haven't seen any. Do they? Is skincare? No, I don't think so. It's more.
No, Mike. No, Mike. They don't sell skincare on Zazzle.
Is it Mike?
I don't know.
Do you know, this is a real pain. This StreamYard, I really like StreamYard, but unless people click the little button to say, yes, I give StreamYard my permission to see my name, I can't actually see who's commenting. I'm going to see if I can go into the Facebook group and see who that is actually commenting.
I'll have a 10 quid bet with you, Joe. Yeah?
It is Mike. Hey!
Damn. You didn't hear my bet, did you? No. The thing is, one thing to actually just mention, because it is really important. If you think about it, look, everybody could put any photo they find from Google or Unsplash or Pixabay or whatever on a mug and sell it. You've got to be really, really careful that you can actually do that with regard to copyright, because if you think about it, when Zazzle sell it, if the owner of that photo comes back, it's not you. Yeah. Well, you'll get chucked off the site actually, but it's Zazzle. So they have quite a strict checking process for making sure that you know, you are permitted, i.e. it's your own art. Right. So. And the downside of that is if you find photographs, for example, that you can use, are in the public domain, so will a squillion other people. Yeah. So, you know, but you don't, I mean, one of my biggest sellers actually is a watercolor business card. And I just used a paintbrush one day and went, oh, I use green. And I just put a blob of green on, and I thought, oh well, I'll upload that. You know, and it sold lots. It doesn't have to be. I overcomplicated, I know, but then I'm trying to, you know, test myself as well and develop and grow in the art way. But it doesn't have to be complicated.
You've frozen in the most glamorous pose there. No, I'm thinking I take lots of photos. I mean, obviously I travel around the world. I take lots and lots of photos, and I've just learned over the last few months how to edit them using Lightroom. And so some of my photos are gorgeous. Some of them are really, really pretty. And I've started to plan out putting them on Instagram. And then I just thought, some of these are beautiful. I'd love to put these on postcards or, you know, something nice, birthday cards or something, which, you know, once again, just a little hobby of taking photos is turning into how do I turn that into a business opportunity? And Zazzle looks like a really interesting platform to do that. And I can see Phuket oceans and sunsets as a brand, you know, so.
Yeah, well, go for it, you know. It's perfectly possible. Yeah.
All right. Well, it's we're almost at 40 minutes. I don't like to go too much over 40 minutes, so we'll call it a. No, I don't. You can't sell your own products on there, Mike. I don't think it's not your own handmade skincare. That's your product now. This is print on demand, Zazzle. So you're putting your designs on their products and selling, you know, their products. So the fact that you're making your own products is a far more actual profitable venture, but a slightly different model. All right, so a couple of tips, Caroline. Any sort of key tips that you just want to leave anybody with if they're thinking about starting on Zazzle?
Well, just have some fun with it, to be honest. You know, don't think about it too much. Don't be put off with the fact that you have to be artistic. You don't. You know, you can just kind of look around and see what's currently trending and have a go, you know. Don't think about it too much.
I like that. I've literally got a piece. I can't lift it up because it's sellotaped to my table. It actually says, "How can I have fun with what I'm doing today?" That is kind of the motto that I'm putting into everything I'm doing at the moment. How do you have fun with what you're doing? Because life is too grim without having fun.
I tell you what, this was fun, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this.
I really enjoyed it, Caroline.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah.
Last time we spoke was on a webinar or something, where we weren't doing video. So this is lovely to actually get. What I love about this is the fact that I'm talking directly to you face to face. The connection that you get on something like this is so much more than just audio.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree. Yeah, well, who knows?
Really lovely. I'm glad you've had fun and enjoyed it, though. That's brilliant.
And I hope you've learned something as well. I mean, if you've got anything you want to ask me, shout.
Absolutely. If you're watching the replay and you have any questions or anything that you want to ask Caroline, as always, this video is in the Facebook group and it's on the Facebook page. So feel free to write in the comments below the video and answer any questions. And Caroline will come back and answer you. I won't, because I don't know anything about it just yet. But hey, you know, when I've had a go, I'll let you know. Other than that, it's been brilliant. Thank you so much, Caroline. It's been awesome to talk to you.
Pleasure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. And I'll see you on my next live. Take care. Have an amazing day, whatever you're doing. See you soon.